So you're building something for the web. That's awesome. But you've probably hit that first giant question. Which framework should I actually use? With so many options out there, it can feel, well, a little crowded. Let's dive in and make sense of it all together.
It is so easy to feel overwhelmed, right? You've got React, Angular, Vue, Svelte, Astro. The list just keeps on growing. It's the classic paradox of choice, and honestly, it can stop a project dead in its tracks before you even write a single line of code. But don't you worry. Think of this explainer as your map. We're going to cut through all that noise and find the perfect path for your project.
You know, the secret to choosing the right framework isn't about finding the best one overall, because that just doesn't exist. It's all about matching a framework's strengths to your project's #1 most important priority. So ask yourself, am I building a massive, super structured application? Do I need the ultimate flexibility to build something totally custom? Or is raw, blistering performance the only thing that really matters?
All right, let's start with the two giants in the room. On one side, you have React. React is all about maximum flexibility. I mean, it has the largest ecosystem on the planet, which makes it perfect for those really complex custom user interfaces. Then on the other side, you've got Angular. Angular is all about strong structure. It's an all-in-one, batteries-included solution that's really built for huge enterprise-scale applications where consistency across giant teams is absolutely king.
Okay, so what if you're looking for something that sits right between those two extremes? Well, that's exactly where Vue shines. It strikes this fantastic balance between raw power and simplicity. It has less boilerplate, a much gentler learning curve, and it's just a really pragmatic and, honestly, an incredibly popular choice for so many teams out there.
I love this quote because it just perfectly captures the whole mindset behind our next contender, Svelte. See, Svelte approaches things differently. It's not just another framework. It's actually a compiler. That means it does most of its work during the build step before it even gets to the user, so you end up shipping this incredibly small and efficient code to the browser. If raw speed and a lean final product are your top goals, Svelte is an absolute game changer.
You know, sometimes a library like React just isn't quite enough on its own. What if you need server-side rendering for super fast initial loads and great SEO? Or maybe you want full-stack capabilities right out of the box. Well, that's when you reach for what we call a meta framework. Think of things like Next.js for React, Nuxt for Vue, or SvelteKit for Svelte. They basically take those great foundations and add all these crucial, production-ready features on top.
And this brings us to the rise of the specialists. And a perfect example is Astro. Its superpower is performance, especially for content-heavy sites, like blogs, documentation, or marketing pages. And here's its secret. By default, it aims to send 0 JavaScript to the browser. That keeps your site incredibly fast, and it only loads the interactive bits and pieces when you absolutely need them. It's a really clever approach.
All right, we've talked about concepts and ideas. Now let's look at some cold, hard data. It's one thing to say a framework is fast, right? But what do the numbers actually show us? Let's switch gears, look at the metrics, and see how these frameworks really stack up when you put them to the test.
Wow, this visual really tells a story, doesn't it? On the left, you've got Svelte with a teeny tiny bundle size. And on the right, you've got Angular, which is significantly larger because it packs so much right out of the box. This single metric, how much code you're actually sending to your user's browser, has a huge impact on how fast your site loads, especially for people on slower connections.
Okay, let's break it down even further. Take a look at this scorecard. You can see newcomers like Solid and Svelte are just leading the pack, not only in small bundle size, but also in runtime speed. Vue is holding its own in a strong middle ground, while React is solid, but definitely a bit heavier. And you can see how Angular, while super powerful, pays for that power with a slower initial load time. The key takeaway here is that your choice has real, measurable performance implications.
Choosing a framework isn't just about what works today. It's about betting on where the web is going. So to make a really smart choice for 2026 and beyond, you've got to understand the key trends that are shaping the future of web development. Let's take a little peek at what's just over the horizon.
The first major trend you need to know about is resumability, which was pioneered by a framework called Quick. The goal here is simple: make apps load almost instantly. It gets rid of this expensive process called hydration, which is where the browser basically has to rebuild the application's state. A resumable app just picks up right where the server left off. The benefit? We're talking potentially the fastest load times we have ever seen.
Next up, let's talk about island architecture, which was really popularized by Astro. I want you to picture your web page as this big ocean of static, super fast-loading HTML.
Now, the interactive parts, like, say, an image carousel or a Buy Now button, are like little islands of JavaScript that load completely independently. This is what keeps your content site so incredibly fast, because you only hydrate the pieces that absolutely have to be interactive. And finally, let's touch on signals. This is a really powerful and efficient system for managing data changes in your app. See, traditionally, when one piece of data changes, a framework might have to re-render a whole big part of your UI. But signals allow for these incredibly fine-grained, almost surgical updates instead. Imagine changing a single number on a dashboard without touching anything else around it. This leads to way faster, more responsive applications, and it's a key feature in modern frameworks like Solid and even Angular now.
Of course, there's even more happening. You definitely need to keep an eye on Rust-based tooling like TurboPack, which is making our build processes orders of magnitude faster. And TypeScript? It's not really a choice anymore. It's pretty much the standard for any serious project. Oh, and deploying apps to the edge, getting them physically closer to your users, is becoming the new normal for achieving global performance.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've talked about the players, the performance data, and the future trends. So now let's bring it all together into one simple, actionable guide. This is the cheat sheet that's going to help you make that final decision.
Here it is, the final breakdown. If you're building a marketing site or a blog, you should be looking at Astro, Next.js, or SvelteKit for their incredible performance and SEO strengths. Tackling a massive enterprise application, Angular or Next.js will give you the structure and scale you need. Just prototyping a new idea? Something like Vite paired with React or Vue, or even just Svelte by itself will get you moving incredibly fast. This table maps a framework's DNA directly to your project's goats.
So, as we've seen, there really is no single best framework. There's only the framework that is right for your project, right for your team, and right for your goals. The real question isn't about which tool is better in a vacuum. The real question is, what amazing things are you going to build now that you can choose the right one for the job? Thanks for watching.